Hi, it's me again, and as I've said in a few videos recently, we're in a really interesting time when it comes to the TV licence. There's loads of debate. No one knows which direction it's going to go. And, the peak of the mountain is going to be 2027-28 when the charter expires. And at the minute, we're at base camp, and we can take different routes up. And it's a really interesting time. No one knows which way it's going to go. I have my ways of thinking that, the BBC are talking like they want to become a global streaming giant, but then the government are trying to make out like it's going to be some kind of media tax. So it is interesting debate at the moment, and the BBC are feeling the pressure. They are feeling the pressure because you see things like this. Have a look. BBC on the brink. Boss issues rallying cry to staff to fight for broadcasters' future. I have to admit, if I was on the BBC payroll as a member of staff, just office staff or IT staff or something, I'd feel quite comfortable with my job at the moment, but I'd want to jump ship before everybody else does. Because if the BBC does go down and all those people come onto the marketplace for jobs, you're going to struggle to get one. I'd jump ship sooner than later, really. But then, I mean, what's he expect with saying fight for your broadcasters' future? It's your employers paying the rent, that's paying their mortgages. Of course, they're going to fight for it. It's the people you need to rally, Tim Davie, and you're struggling with that, aren't you? Half these people probably get a free telly licence or they work for the BBC, they've got vested interests in it. Of course they're going to fight for it. You want normal people to fight for it, but you can't get that. You can't get that at the minute, can you, son? Director General Tim Davie gave a speech to employees in which he warned the corporation must reform in order to stay relevant and continue to provide value for money. His speech came just hours after Culture Secretary Nadine Dorries confirmed she was launching a mid-term review of the BBC to look at whether the corporation is meeting its terms of operation as set out in the 10-year Royal Charter agreed in 2017. And ever since Nadine come into the job, she has sounded, the words that have come out of her face have sounded like she's done with the BBC and the funding model of the BBC. And I know Parliament works slow and these things go so slow and there's so much debate and she can't make any full decisions on her own. It all has to go through committee this and committee that. But have you seen any action? She has frozen the licence fee, fair dues. She did do that. It's probably saved us all a £5 a year. Brilliant, that helped with the cost of living crisis. But she's talking a good game, but I'm not really seeing anything. I've got a lot of hope for Nadine, but when it comes to it in 2027, when the charter expires and everything has to be signed, sealed and delivered for what happens in the BBC's future, is she going to be in that job still? Because she might not get a say in it. She might not get a say. She could be gone next year and someone pro-BBC could come in and all of this is done. It's all over, isn't it? So we can't rely on Nadine. Speaking to his staff, Mr Davie said there was a need for the BBC to adapt to succeed in a busy global market. He said, "When I took this job, I said we needed to fight for something important. Public service content and services freely available universally for the good of all. This fight is intensifying and the stakes are high." Do you know what? Sometimes I don't think he remembers some of the things that comes out of his face when he's talking. Because the talk at the moment is to get iPlayer sorted out so that they don't have to hold a programme just for 12 months. They can hold the whole back catalogue. And it sounds like they're talking about global marketplaces a lot and they want to become a global streaming giant. Take on Disney Plus and Discovery Plus. Good for them if that's what they want to do. But now he's saying things like freely available universally for the good of all. What do you mean the good of all? It should be for the good of the British people, right? Because they're the people that pay it. You shouldn't be caring about the good of all. Why would you care about the good of all? Why do you want shows in America and Australia and wherever? They're not paying for it. Well, they are, because they show adverts over there on it, don't they? It's commercial income. Why can't you do that in the UK? We're the people that pay for it. They're our shows. If you're going to sell them, that profit that you make should come off what the licence fee allowance is for the next year, right? And then sell more shows, we wouldn't have to pay a licence fee. I just don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's going on. I think he's struggling. He's got a lot on his plate at the minute, isn't he? But, yeah, the good of all. Come on, you've got to word it a bit better than that, Tim. He added, "This is our moment to build a digital-first BBC, something genuinely new, a Raytheon organisation for the digital age, a positive force for the UK and the world." There he is again, with the world. If you want to keep a licence fee, you can't keep saying the world. They can't have that stuff, they didn't pay for it. We paid for it, not me, and hopefully not you. You know, if you want to be a streaming giant, then yeah, the world, because the world is your lobster at that point, isn't it? You know, that's what I don't understand. If they could get the licenses to be a global streaming platform, BBC Plus or something they could call it. They're not just reliant on the British people to pay for them, are they? Because they can sell it all around the world. Think how much more money they would make. They'd make loads more money, wouldn't they? The world is their audience, not just the British people paying for them. That is the way to go about it. But we have to make sure that if that does come about, that the British people have a choice in whether they pay it or not. It has to be a subscription service. If you don't want access to it, you don't have to pay for it. That's the way it has to be. Because that's pretty much how it works now. And if they change it to like a government-mandated media tax or something, we're knackered, aren't we? We lost the fight. As it is at the minute, you can choose not to pay it. They'll send you crappy, scary letters, and they might send someone to your door to demand money with menaces. But that's easily dealt with. It's easy to not pay it. I've not paid it for like nearly 10 years. It's easy to not pay it. So yeah, as I say, it's interesting at the minute. We don't know which direction this is all going to go, do we? So what do you think about this then? What direction do you think it's going to go in? And do you think Tim Davie and Nadine Dorries are going to be the people that can put the final change on the BBC? I don't know if I do. But let me know if you do down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you do that, hopefully, I'll get to see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da!